All right, here's a behind the scenes look at how we're shooting a photo today. Got the camera here at a tripod, looking at the kitchen. We've got one big flash here with a reverse umbrella, filling the front area. Another big flash here, popping up this beautiful white ceiling to fill in this area. And then just have a kind of double folded sheet or a curtain here that I'm using to block some sun. So on the fridge over here, we had a lot of light. So I was able to just come over here and hold this and block the sun from the fridge.
Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a look at how this image was created. Here's the final image, and I'm going to backtrack now and start from the beginning. Alright, we began with this ambient exposure. If we would add some contrast to this, it's not a bad shot, but we're going to make it better anyway. The next frame was me holding up a curtain. I just bought a simple dowel rod from the craft store, and I have a kind of white curtain from Target that I folded over and kind of doubled up. The idea there was to get rid of some of the hot spot over here on the fridge and on this cabinet. So by holding up the curtain in front of this window, you can see that we achieved that. So I just painted in those little areas there. Next up was the flash exposures. So we did 2 flash exposures. This is the first one. Again, if we add some contrast to that, it's not a bad image. I'm sorry, actually, this is the first image. The first flash image looked like this. Again, not terrible, but we need to do a little blending. It doesn't look very natural. So the next one, again, I'm going to hold up the curtain here to get rid of some of that. And you can actually see the reflection of the curtain here in the fridge. But we're really just trying to get this one little spot that had a hot spot, and this does help out with that. So we just paint that in. So there we go. And then with this flash layer in a folder, we went ahead and blended it. So I like to use an action. I've got my actions over here. The action is Nathan Cool's Fast Flambient Blend. He's got a great YouTube tutorial on that. I use that almost in all of my shots as kind of a starting point to blend my flash with my ambient frames. I've got that set up to F6 for my shortcut. And there we go. So that's blended. Next is removing distractions. So I layered this, call this layer fixes. Can turn that on and off. So a couple things we're going to notice here. We've got the can lights on the ceiling. Those disappear. We've got the outlets and switches. Those disappear. Another one over here. And with this repeating pattern, since it's a one-point perspective, it was fairly easy to clone those out by basically copying and pasting another tile and putting it on top of that one. Let's see what else. We've got a little smudge over here on the fridge. That's about it. Maybe there's some little dirt and debris if we really zoom in, but we won't have time for that right now. Next up, we did a color fix layer. So if I turn this on, you can see that it is a lot more desaturated. Turn it off and you've got a lot more of the reds up here, kind of these color cast. So we went ahead and blended that, and there we go. Now some of the color casts are gone. And finally, we took a frame with the lights on. So here's a flash frame with those lights on. It's kind of cool looking little Edison bulbs. And we just painted those in. And then finally, a curves adjustment layer that you can see over here to give it a final pop of contrast and a little bit more brightness. So if we look at the histogram, we're a little bit right of center in that kind of far right quadrant. And that is the image that I would turn into my client. This one was also licensed to Roca, who made the backsplash tile. They purchased this image, and I believe it was for digital use or online use only, but made an extra sale from this image.